Hello, my name is Quentin, and today we are at the beautiful Barber Motorsports Park, and this is an Abarth 500. Today, I'm going to answer the questions that a lot of new Abarth drivers might have. Is this a good car to use in autocross? Let's get to it. So, the Fiat 500 Abarth, or the Abarth 500, is an Italian hot hatchback. It is very, very inexpensive, and it's a very good way to get into motorsports racing. So, before we get into the racing and get into the racing footage, I'm going to tell you the advantages and the disadvantages of this car. One advantage that it really has is its low weight. This car weighs around 2,300 pounds, 2,500 pounds if you get the cabriolet, and pretty much out of most of these cars, it's pretty much just going to be the actually it's going to be the lightest of all of them, really. Only cars that it's probably not going to be able to beat when it comes to a lightweight contest is the Miatas, of course, and there's a R55 Mini Cooper over there. But yeah, 2,300 pounds, I think that's a really good weight for a vehicle, especially in this type of racing. And another good thing that this car has is its size. This car is actually probably the shortest car here other than that Mini. Miatas are actually longer than this car. So it makes it really, really easy to maneuver, and it turns very sharp. Now that we're done talking about the advantages of this car, let's talk about the disadvantages. Now, as I said before, this car is very small, and that actually puts it into an advantage. But would you know that that's also a disadvantage? This car is very, very, very short. In fact, Miatas are longer than it, and everybody knows Miatas for being very small. But not only is it very short, it's also very tall, which makes it top heavy. It's basically like driving a square on four wheels. Like, that's literally what it feels like. Especially as much power as this thing makes, this thing can be kind of a handful to drive when you're not used to it. I find myself oversteering a lot in this course, especially with these skinny 205s. But the tires are okay. So I'm not going over, like, mess up completely. But I do find myself lacking in grip in some situations. But even with that, it's probably still going to be one of the most fun cars you're going to have here. Like, you can pretty much ask anybody here, and they really like the way it sounds. And that's really the point of autocross. The point isn't to compete unless, you know, you're a pro. But, you know, just regular competitions like this, it's meant for fun. And I'm telling you the truth, you're going to have some fun in this car. You really are, especially if you can get one for a really low price. Now that I've shown you the advantages and disadvantages of this car, we're going to go ahead and start racing. Okay, guys. Getting ready to start our first round. So, I just got done racing, and I'll tell you the truth, I am doing very well. I am second place in this car, which is really good. Because the other cars in the novice class is an S13, a DC5 with a roll cage and sticky tires, an 86. There's also a base Civic, and right now the leader, who is up top by a couple of seconds ahead, is a C5 Corvette Z06. I actually made it second so far in these last 4 runs. So if you're a good driver, you can actually put this car to good use. So we're going to go ahead and do the other 4 runs, the last 4 runs. I'm going to tell you the results of that.
Go ahead.
This thing's like drifting a fucking Miata. Like, damn, this ain't oversteers.
Go ahead.
For me. Oh well.
Go ahead.
Best time on the last run. Woo! So, I said this car was a pretty good car. Start autocrossing and start racing it. Well, as you can see, I just got done with all of my runs, including the one fun run. I've pretty much been redlining this engine pretty much, which I know it ain't good for the engine, but check this out. Still pretty much running the same. Running good, it hasn't overheated, it's not making any weird sounds. The coolant is still where it is. But if you are going to autocross one of these things, I really have to tell you, check your oil. If you have the multi-air engine, these things consume oil by design, and they're going to really consume it if you're racing it like every month. I learned that a few months ago when that thing was basically empty. Okay, everyone. I just got done doing my corner work, and now the results are in. I've actually made it second place in the novice class with this Abarth. It actually took a built Corvette to actually beat me. than my average time. And I'm gonna be honest, that's a really good deal. So to answer the question, is the Abarth good at autocross? Can you be successful at autocross with an Abarth? Hell yeah. And this thing still starts up with no problem. I just filled the tires back up with the tire pressure monitor that I just got that came with it. And now it's ready to go on home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Pretty soon, I'm going to have a full review on this thing. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'm sorry that I hadn't uploaded in 2 months. I wasn't able to go into Autocross last month. And really, I don't really have anything else going on other than that. I might start drag racing. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys around.